Hello, friends. It's Dr. Benjamin here.
And Dr. Susanna.
Welcome to another Alter Your Health episode of Wisdom Wednesday. We are both naturopathic doctors who support you in reversing disease, reclaiming health through whole food plant-based nutrition, as well as mind-body empowerment. So today, we're talking about trust in the body, trust in the mind. And this topic came to your mind, Dr. Susanna, because you told me just a few minutes ago, I've been noticing that some people are not in so many words.
Yes.
Or tell us how it came to you.
Well, it came to me because actually, I in my own body have had just a couple occurrences recently where I've had just like a little fleeting symptom that just comes and goes.
This is your experience of trusting your body. Okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'll just share it last night. I didn't even share it with you, Ben.
Oh.
But last night we were on our way we were driving to a meeting, and in the car, I noticed this weird kind of this weird pain in my arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was like squeezing my wrist a little, and it like kind of had a little sharp pain and a weird kind of tingly. And you know, it's if you don't know about me and my history, which I know many of you don't out there, but in my past, one of my biggest health challenges was a period of chronic joint pain, and also with that was lots of kind of muscular pain and just weird sensations in my body. And so from time to time, I have like this little transient thing. I'd call it a twitch, but it's not a twitch, but it's like a little twitch of joint pain or something. Thing. And it's so interesting to watch my mind when stuff happens like this, because I would say certainly more so in the past than currently now. When something would come up like that and I would have a little experience of transient joint pain, I remember witnessing my mind go into the spiraling down the rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Does it mean that I'm not fully healed? Does it mean that I'm doing something wrong? Does it mean that I'm getting sick again? Does it mean that this, but what was it? Was it this? Was it that? Was it this? Was it that? Was it the beans that I ate? Was it this that I ate? Was it the this that I did? You know, it's like the spiral. And
who's been there?
Who's been there? And who's in that right now, right? And you know, now I like to relate to these little symptoms really as, you know, similar to how we relate to thought storms, you know, trusting that they're going to pass, trusting that my body, the self-healing organism that it is, has everything it needs to come back into balance as long as I continue to fuel it with its optimal fuel. And, you know, that's exactly what happened. We actually got to our meeting and I immediately forgot I even had this thing. I forgot I even had this thing until today when we were thinking of coming up with topics. And, you know, that's just an example of trusting the body, living in the moment. You know, one moment I had a little twinge in my body. The next moment it was gone. I didn't blow it up. I didn't make some big story about it. And so, yay, that's a win for me. Pat myself on the back, because sometimes I'm not always like that, right? Sometimes I am a little more susceptible to the negative spiral thinking, whether it's about a physical thing or whether it's about something that my mind has latched onto, some kind of drama I've made up in my mind with my own thoughts about something I've seen in the outside world, whatever it is. Sometimes I don't just let it pass. Sometimes I latch onto it. But anyway, that's my story, my experience.
And my response is, well, that's not, you know, when I hear that, obviously maybe my initial thought was, well, what if like you had a broken arm, or what if you had like a deep vein thrombosis that was going to create a pulmonary embolism or a stroke or something like that? You just want to like, just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, trust, back to the topic of trust, the mind, the wisdom, that innate kind of curiosity and openness gives us the messages that we need when we need them. And when we clutter our thinking with those kind of stressful thoughts and that thought storm and kind of go down that rabbit hole, as you were describing, Dr. Susanna, all that really does is obscure our perception and connection with that trust, with that connection with our body's wisdom, innate intuitive abilities and senses.
Mhm.
So we can, in other words, we can respond proactively from a grounded place,
Mhm.
and not from a worried or fearful place. Or maybe we feel a little bit worried and fearful, but we're acting from a place of, clarity and not from a place of overwhelm.
Mhm.
Um, and really, when you brought up this topic of trusting the body, trusting the mind, what was coming forward for me, Dr. Susanna, was this epidemic of a lack of trust, from a lack of understanding. So many people don't understand how their body works. They don't know where their stomach is. They don't know where their liver is. They don't know how their immune system is programmed to turn on and combat, foreign pathogens and whatnot. They don't know how their body self-regulates and self-balances. And obviously this is, high-level science in many cases that, doctors are trained over years and years and years and years of study to understand. But that being said, a baseline understanding of how the body works supports people in trusting, and understanding, like, oh, I don't have to be too concerned when I have a stuffy nose, because a lot of people are kind of programmed with fear, I guess you might say, to be reactive to the slightest symptoms rather than proactive and grounded and trusting. And then taking this conversation to the mind, a lot of people also are fearful of their own thinking and not understanding how the mind works and self-regulates and self-balances and self-cleanses itself. So when we have kind of feelings that are overwhelming or anxious or sad, a lot of people want to get in there and fix it and eliminate it. But all that does, innocently, is create more stressful thinking, which again makes us feel more disconnected from our true nature. And again, it's an innocent human tendency that every human being that I know of, I don't know, let me know if you are immune to this. But in any event, understanding the self-healing mechanisms of body and mind really support us in being at peace.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. And like you said, even if we understand how the mind works and how the body works, we can all still slip into that negative spiral of thinking because we're human. But, I do want to, you already said this, but I want to kind of emphasize it because, yeah,
You can say it better.
that story I shared in the beginning, it can be kind of received as like, what? So I'm just supposed to like blow off all the messages my body gives me? What? And yeah, I would really like to reiterate the point that the cool thing, like what was also with me in that experience of feeling the pain and essentially not making it mean something more than it really was having that trust in myself that I will know if I have to go take action. I will know if I have to take myself to the emergency room, or I will know if it's in the highest good for me to reach out to a practitioner or to get a second opinion or whatever it is. And that's that kind of wisdom that really guides us in our healing journey. It guides us to the practitioners that we work with best, that we gel with. It guides us to the foods that we know nourish ourselves best. It guides us to all the other healing practices. And we connect with that innate wisdom when we are in that clear state of mind, that calm state of mind, when we're not in that busy, worry, cluttered state of mind of, what I just described earlier of what it could have been.
Well, I was just reminiscing of this experience, this story of this was like 12 years ago or so. Oh my gosh, was it, or 10? I don't know. A long time ago, I was at a festival and I was helping. I was kind of volunteering and helping pack stuff up, and it was like a yoga festival, and people were, spiritually oriented, lots of crystals and meditation and stuff. And someone broke their leg, and it was like visibly broken. Like it was not quite a fracture of, the skin bone coming through the skin or anything, but darn close. In any case, people were kind of like, okay, like very ground yourself. And then there were some other people that came who were also very grounded and like, just be calm. But it was like, all right, like someone said, yes, we can be calm, and we should probably call the ambulance,
Yes.
like, because at this point, no amount of crystal healing and meditation is really going to realign the bone in a way that is necessary in this circumstance. So it's like, we can do both. We can be grounded and we can be peaceful, and we can all be proactive and responsive and make those decisions in from a place of wisdom and understanding. So that just came to mind.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's a good example.
Oh yeah. Anyway, any other announcements or anything? I know we always like to just put the plug for the Peace on Earth program, which is a weekly conversation, alter.health/peace on earth. It's a sliding scale community where you can come in and join these conversations on the topic of mind, thought, consciousness, and the human experience as it relates to your experience of health. And
well, not related to mindset, but related to connecting with the body. We have our Alter Health Cleanse coming up on October 3rd. The first meeting is on October 1st.
Yeah, so actually registration is open through October 1st. That's kind of the deadline to sign up. October 1st is the deadline. And through this week, if you're so fortunate to hear this, but before Friday, the 24th of September, you can join for $20 off. Just head on over. The code, I believe, is Fall Cleanse 20. And it's already pre-programmed in there at alter.health/cleanse.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, you know where to find us, hopefully. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yep. Bye for now, everyone.
Peace and love.